Hey everybody, welcome. Today we are going to make a cute little resin piece and I'm going to show you the supplies. You have your resin, you have in the little box, you have, this is the light, the UV light. It does have a plug that you need to plug in with your little USB block. Let me show you how this works. It has little legs that open like this to help it stand. That's great. And then on the back here, there is a little button. When you press that button, the light comes on and it will set for, I think it's 60 seconds. But you can always turn it off. So I'm just gonna turn it off. You've got resin. Let's go ahead and open that up. This resin right here. Now, if this is your first time opening up the resin, I want you to be extremely careful, but you're going to need to open it. And then there's a little plug here on top that we need to pop off. That's just to protect it while it's shipping, and you can move that out of the way. Notice that this is a black bottle. Now it's black because we don't want any sunlight or any UV rays to get to it, what's inside, because that is what will cure it. This right here, this lamp is what will cure it. So I like to keep my bottle away from the lamp when it's turned on. So you may see me put it out of the view. It's because I don't want that light to affect it at all. Even though it's in a black bottle, if light is directly hitting it, you could have that issue where it dries it up. So don't put this in a windowsill, just keep it in a cabinet or somewhere after we're done. Okay, let's take a look at the other things we have. You've got toothpicks. I have this little tool. Inside you have toothpicks. You've also got some little pieces of paper where we'll mix resin on. You have this little mold here. There's 3 different molds. There's a heart, there is a ice cream cone, and then there's another one. So all 3 of these projects are exactly the same technique that we're going to use. It's just the shape of your mold is different. Okay, so you'll use these instructions for all of your resin projects. Inside here, we've got lots of little fun things. The first one that I want you to take out is we've got this little package right here, and it has inside of it 3 different things. And the first thing I want you to get is the glitter. It's fine, fine glitter. So we're gonna go ahead and open this up. I'll just take my scissors and gently open to pull out these. There's 3 little packets in here, and they are tiny. Let me grab the other ones. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Hard to get all this open. Okay, but the first one we're going to use is the glitter. Okay, and you're going to need your little piece of paper, and I want you to squeeze 1, 2 dots of resin. And this amount, Mel, what do you think that looks like? A Mentos?
Mentos. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna call it a Mentos size. And we're gonna mix our resin in with it. I'm actually just gonna cut here. We're gonna mix our glitter be very careful. So I just poured out my glitter. You're gonna take your toothpick and gently mix all of that together. Mix your glitter in with your resin. Ta-da. Mix it really good. And then our next step is we are going to pour this glitter resin mixture into this channel all in here, okay? So how do you do that? I like to give my piece of paper like this and then let it flow all the way around. We're just doing in the channel. Now you'll notice there's other shapes inside here. That is if you wanted to like mix a color. We don't have any colors in our kits, but if you wanted to mix a color and put inside those, you can make little charms. It's like a bonus little thing you can do. We're not gonna do that piece today. Okay. Now that mixture that I put in there, it did not fill this all the way. I am just going to use my toothpick, my little tool, and push that glitter mixture around, making sure it's touching all of the sides. And I've got a nice little coat of glitter in there. It's a nice little thin coat of glitter resin, making sure it's touching all of the sides. Okay. Now these molds are best when you work in thin layers, and that's what we're doing. So now my resin is away. I'm gonna put this into my light and set it and forget it. Okay, push it, whoops, and forget it. All right, so now that that's dry inside there, I am ready to fill up this channel in here with more resin, okay? Now here's the key. You do not want it to overflow, but you want it to come just to the top, okay? And you are only putting this mixture inside this channel right here, okay? Just inside that channel. So you'll take your resin and just put, you can go around very carefully, squeezing. And I'm going around again. That was Miss Mel. Not sure what video game she's playing over there. Oh, okay. So I'm making a very thin layer all the way around. And I filled it. I do see a little bubble in there, so I'm just gonna pop it. Looking at it at the side. Hey, I think that looks pretty good. Making sure my bottle is away, and I'm going to set it. Okay, so this is gonna set for 30 seconds. All right, now I am looking, and I think I can do just a small, one more little layer in there. You guys will need to determine your own I'm just pouring just ever so little bit because I just want it to be flush but not go over. I just want it to come to the very top and no bubbles. I'm just pushing this around to make sure I don't have any bubbles and that it's touching all the sides. And I'm going to put it in one more time. Okay. While this is setting, I'm going to get the next thing ready, which is the film. So you have a little piece of film inside and it looks like, well, this particular one is a heart. Depending on which one you have, yours might be a little bit different. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to cut the design film. So I'm going to, while this is cooking in there, I'm going to go ahead and cut out this heart. And it's the heart that has the film in it. Because you'll see there's another one that has an outline. We'll use that one in a few minutes. So let's go ahead and cut this out. And cut it just up to the sides. Okay. So I've got that film there. Okay. Oh, this looks good. Okay, and it's dry to the touch. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this out. This is so rewarding. Now what I wanna do is I'm gonna set it on this side too, because it might be a little bit tacky. And if you feel like it's tacky and you're pulling it out, you could turn with the resin in here, you can turn the mold upside down and zap it just for a few seconds too. But I love when I pop it out, I do zap it in here for just a few more seconds. Okay, and I've got my film. So what we'll do once this is dry, yep, not tacky, I'm going to add a thin layer of resin to this area right here. And I will take my film and place it on top like that, okay? So let's do that. Don't worry about, like, I have these little weird edges. We're gonna take care of that later. Let's add just a thin layer. So thin. Right around the edge. Put your resin off to the side. Take your film, that really colorful side, we want it facing down. So this is the lighter side is facing up, colorful side facing down. And you will just lay that right on top. Okay. Press down. So a little bit, just gently. Go ahead, put it under the light. You're going to be doing this a lot. While that's underneath the light, you can go ahead and open up. These are little stars, and I just cut a little hole in this baggie with these cute little stars. Once this is done, we're going to add some more resin. So we're going to add a little resin to the top of this, and you just need the thinnest coat. So you really want to use this sparingly because we've got a lot of projects this week to do with this. So you don't need a lot. And I am just going to push it to the sides to give it a nice little coat. We just want a nice little coat. on top. You can always add more, you can't take away. Again, you just want to add just a tiny little bit. Push it to the sides. Oh, this looks good. And then I'm going to add a few of these sprinklies. I'm going to sprinkle on a few of these stars and move them around with my little toothpick tool. This is really cute. Okay, all my edges look really good. I'm actually looking at it from the side. I like to get really low and look at it from the side so I can make sure I don't have any bubbles, I didn't miss any area. Go ahead and turn that on. Let that side dry. And then we'll work on the other side. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take the other part of the film. You have a little word in here. You can cut that out. Don't lose it though. And you can just cut right around it. So I have my little word. It's nice that I have a black piece of paper here because it makes everything, the shiny stuff I can really find easily. And I'm gonna cut just inside of this black line, just inside of it, because I don't want to see the black line anymore once I have my heart cut out. I made that mistake on another one. I cut it where I could still see the black line. It looks better if you cut that part away. And then we'll set this aside. Okay, all right. Let's take a look. Ooh, that looks good. And now when I flip it over, oh my gosh, so this, I can see that bright side in there. And there's like a little cubby space in there. Inside this little cubby space, I want you to put, you can put some of these little stars in there. Like that. You can also put these, I'm going to call these diamonds, these little diamonds inside. It's like a little shaker. Oh, and then we've got some little pearls inside here. Don't lose that little ring. You're going to need, there's a few things in here that you really need, but I just want the pearls. And I'm going to put the pearls inside there. Don't lose these two little guys. Oh, there's another pearl. Okay, so I'm going to put these two things back inside. I cannot lose that. Ta-da! So I've got like diamonds and stars inside here. It's like a little bowl for them. Okay, next step. We are going to put a little bit of resin around this rim right here. And then guess what? That little heart that you cut out earlier, the clear heart, you're going to place that right on top. So that's going to seal it. That's going to seal everything in here. Okay, let's take just a little bit of resin. Right around your top. Put your heart or whatever shape you have on there. I'm just going to flatten it down with my little tool, your little toothpick tool. And it's suctioned on there, great. And I just have the tiniest amount because you don't want that resin to fall in. Okay, and then let's set it and forget it. All right. Ooh, it looks so good. Now I feel a little bit of tackiness here, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it under there one more time. That never hurts. Sometimes, so if you feel a little tackiness, you might need to zap it just a little bit longer. Oh, that's great. Okay, so now I have this cool little shaker and you can see everything in there. That looks fantastic. I'm gonna do another layer of resin on top and then put my little word in there that says love. So the first thing that I like to do is put just a dot of resin, just a dot, smallest amount. And then take my little love that I cut out earlier, and I'm gonna just kind of smush it on there. So underneath it, like, you get plenty of the clear underneath that love, so it's stuck on there. And then we'll do just a very thin layer on top. And that was less than, I would say, like a Skittle amount. And I'm just going to gently push this all around to the sides. And I'm looking at it sideways so I can make sure I'm covering everything. It's really turning out cute. Really, really turning out cute. And notice my love might have kind of run around a little bit, but I can push it back where I want it. Maybe I want it centered in the middle. Maybe I like it kind of off to the side. Just a little bit. And kind of sideways. I think it's cute like that. And then finally, I'm just gonna add the last little, these are like the tiniest little beads. I'm just gonna sprinkle those on top and push them around. Those are cute. And we're gonna set it and forget it. Okay, let's take a look. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. You could add another little layer on top of that if you want. If you have a little bit, if the edges aren't very smooth, you can take an emery board or a little file and just file those sharp edges down. But let's finish this guy up. We're gonna put the hardware on here so we can use it as a keychain. Now remember, I told you guys don't lose these little pieces. So I can't think of what this little guy, I think it's kind of like a bead cap or something. But this right here, let me draw it for you. It looks like kind of like that. There's a little space up in here. So what we're going to do is put the resin we want it to attach there, and then at the side of the heart. So I'm actually going to put a little resin right here on my heart and then push this guy onto it. It's going to be a little tricky because everything is so teensy tiny small. Okay, so put a little bit of resin right here, then we'll go like that. You'll need to hold it and then zap it. Okay, you might need to ask for some help, which is totally okay for this part. So I'm just going to put a little dot of resin at the top, put that tiny little piece up. Now if I laid it down, it's going to slide off. We don't want that to happen. So I'm just going to hold it like this. It's just going to take a few seconds for it to set. So I'm going to count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's on there, but I'm gonna lay it down on its side now and I'll let it finish doing its thing. But you just need to hold it in place so it doesn't slide off, okay? So we're gonna let that rest. While that's resting, we're gonna get out this is called a jump ring, this tiny little guy right here. And if you take your fingers and you twist it to the side, so it's like this, and then if you twist it to the side and bring one of the sides closer to you, that's how you open it. And then once it's open, you can slide it onto that little ring. And let's get the rest of it out. This is the little keychain part. I'm just gonna cut that open. And then you can hook it on to this little portion right here. So I'm just going to hook it onto that other little jump ring. And I need my grown-up glasses on so I can see. It's hard for me to see. Ooh. Am I still on camera? I am. Concentrating so hard on this. Oh, I think I need to open it a little bit more. Yep. Whoops. This might be the hardest part. There we go. And then I'm just gonna close it back together. And there we have our adorable little shaker keychain. And this will be the same process for all of the shapes, okay? So we hope you guys had fun today and enjoy your little shaker keychain. Bye.